The Legend of Korra gave us no shortage of action, drama, and intense battles. And two characters who always brought something special to the fight were Mako and Bolin. Even though the brothers never actually fought each other in the series, we have always wondered, who's really the stronger one? Well, today, we're finally going to answer that question, using real feats and moments straight from the show.
I'm going for that lever. You get the other one.
He's dancing on the edge of the ring, surviving the 3-on-1 barrage. It seems his plan is to let the Tiger Dillos punch themselves out. And his plan is working. Han is in the pool. They've got nothing left in the tank, and Mako is on the offensive.
Mako stands out in The Legend of Korra for a lot of reasons, but the real one is how much he's had to fight, not just in battles, but in life. He's very, very precise with the way he bends. You'll notice that, unlike a lot of firebenders who use big, explosive attacks, Mako uses smaller, sharper bursts of fire, almost like jabs in a boxing match. It makes him super effective in close-range fights and shows he knows how to save energy, which matters a lot in long battles. He can also generate lightning without needing a long setup, which just adds to how dangerous he is. But what's even more impressive is how he thinks during a fight. He doesn't just charge in. He reads the situation, spots weaknesses, and changes tactics in real time. He's a fighter who adjusts instead of attacking blindly. And before we even meet him, he's already survived so much. Growing up on the streets, raising his brother, and dealing with loss after loss without ever giving up. When you put it all together, his sharp fighting skills, his control over lightning, and his quick thinking, you see a character who's way stronger than he sometimes gets credit for.
Can't even see where the fire ferret is.
And now let's talk about Bolin, the younger brother who turned raw talent into absolute power.
What are you smiling about?
I was just remembering the last time we fought.
Well, a lot has changed since then.
Bolin didn't stay the funny, wide-eyed pro-bender we first met. Throughout the series, he shows off a wide range of earth-bending skills. As a pro-bender, he learned how to bring agility into his earth-bending, a style that's usually slower and more grounded, giving him a much quicker, more flexible way of fighting compared to the earthbenders we saw in The Last Airbender. But what really changed the game was his lava bending. And here's the craziest part. He figured it out without a master, without formal training, just pure instinct under pressure. Most people need years of training for specialized bending. Bolin just unlocked it when survival demanded it. Lava bending isn't just rare, it's one of the deadliest bending styles we've ever seen. It's basically earth and fire fused into something almost unstoppable. And Bolin bends it so freely. Speaking of danger, his instincts in battle are really underrated too. People sometimes think he's just the funny guy, but when it counts, Bolin shows he can be really clever. At the end of the day, Bolin isn't just strong, he's a force of nature, and once you really look at what he's capable of, you can't help but love him and seriously respect everything he brings to the table.
So let me ask you about metal bending. Sue tried to teach me, but I couldn't get the hang of it. I did learn how to lava bend.
Really? It's a very rare ability. Maybe you do have some talent.
I can't believe you think I'm talented. That means so much to me coming from my hero.
We've talked about how awesome these two benders are, but now the big question is, who actually wins if they went head-to-head? Honestly, it's kind of hilarious how different they are, considering they basically grew up glued together. But I'm gonna do my best to stay objective here and break down their strengths and weaknesses. So, let's jump into a category showdown. For offense, I'll give it to Mako. Firebenders naturally have more offensive capabilities than earthbenders, and with Mako's lightning bending, he can dish out more intense damage, and it's faster too. Defense, Bolin has this one. Earthbenders have a wide range of defensive options: walls, tents, armor, you name it. Fire, on the other hand, probably has the weakest defense of all the elements. That puts Earth way ahead here. Although technically, Mako could pull an Azula-style fire shield, but we've never actually seen him do it. Speed, Mako again. Bolin's definitely not slow, but Mako's shown he can blitz opponents. His smaller, sharper attacks give him faster strike speed, plus he's got instant lightning without needing time to gather energy.
Bolin goes in for the grapple. Chang reverses. Another strike from Bolin, and Chang's in the drink!
When it comes to agility, both brothers are crazy agile thanks to their pro-bending background, but Mako fights with constant movement while Bolin tends to plant his feet when he's about to launch a big attack, and that small habit puts Mako slightly ahead. Bending power. Bolin wins this one. He generates way more force with his attacks. Mako's strong too, don't get it twisted, but Bolin can influence more earth than Mako can generate fire. And honestly, I take lava bending over lightning any day. Huge advantage for Bolin. Another edge Bolin has is accuracy. His pro-bending experience helped him land precise shots, like when he took down Pali, saving Korra and the Beifongs. That's an insanely impressive feat of precision. Now, early on in the series, Bolin took some heat for focusing too much on throwing rocks instead of using more traditional earthbending techniques. But by season 4, that criticism didn't really hold up anymore. Bolin had stepped up big time, showing way more variety in his earthbending. Durability, I'd say equal. I was tempted to give this one to Bolin, but honestly, there's no real difference. Both of them have taken major hits across the series and bounced back pretty quickly. Skill, Mako, but it's very close. He just shows more finesse in his bending style. Even though they've had roughly the same amount of training, Mako's older, meaning more years of experience under his belt. Versatility, Bolin. Earthbenders are naturally more versatile than firebenders. They can reshape the battlefield itself. Not waterbender levels of versatility, but definitely ahead of firebending. Plus, Bolin's lava bending lets him control both solid and molten earth. Battle IQ. Mako takes this. Look, Mako's not just some angry fire slinger. He's smart, tactical, and sharp. He's like a human taser with a bad attitude. Bolin's strong, no doubt, but he's more of a heart over head kind of guy. You know that friend who just charges into a situation with zero plan but 100% enthusiasm? That's Bolin. Love him for it, but maybe not the best approach when your opponent's trying to electrocute you. Mako's calm, calculated, and resourceful. Just look at how he handled Minghua. So if we're talking pure battle IQ, I'm leaning towards Mako. Now, when you step back and look at it, Bolin's raw bending feats are definitely more impressive. If this fight happened, it would last a long time because they are seriously evenly matched, and they already know each other's fighting style, but let's pretend they don't for a second. At the end of the day, it all comes down to temperament for me. Just hear me out. Bolin's a softie at heart. He's strong, but in a real deathmatch, you need a killer instinct, and Mako's way cold-blooded when it comes to finishing a fight. He's just better at landing that final blow when it matters. So, the winner is Mako, but barely. Mako's just a little more skilled, faster, and more intelligent. The only real threat for Mako would be Bolin's lava bending. But like I said, it's a slow process, and Mako's not the type to just stand there and let you warm up. Some people think Bolin would win just because of lava bending, but I feel like they forget he's still new to it. He hasn't had the time or training to master it yet. If Bolin had more experience with lava, different story. But for now, in my opinion, Mako wins. So what do you think? Would you bet on Mako or Bolin? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay geeky.
This is our only way of shutting this thing down. I can handle it.
No, you can't! This isn't the time to prove how awesome you are! I already know how awesome you are! You're awesome!